Hello. Welcome to the Mindset with Mary podcast. I am your host, Mary, your go-to life coach and mindset mentor, here to guide you towards freedom, success, and true happiness. If you're new here, welcome. I cannot wait for you to listen. If you've been around, thank you so much. This podcast would not be what it is without you. So thank you for tuning in. And also just celebrating you for showing up and doing your personal development today. Not a lot of people do that. And I think it's so important for us to take care of our minds, just like we do our bodies. We work out because we want to stay healthy, right? Our minds also want to stay healthy. So tuning into something empowering is really good for your mind. I believe that our minds need a workout just like our bodies do. So congratulate yourselves for showing up because, again, most people don't do that, but here you are. Okay, let's dive into today's topic. I want to talk about why maybe your current self-care routine isn't working and how I can help you get back into really just enjoying a routine that feels so freeing, so authentic, and so motivating afterwards. So before I really dig in though, I want to share with you some really exciting news. On August 10th, which I know feels like so far away, but it's coming and it's coming quick. I am holding a masterclass and it is going to be amazing. I'm excited for it. It's going to be the 5 steps to manifesting a badass life. It's really all about, just stepping out of your own way and truly becoming that girl. And when I say that girl, I'm not saying that girl as in somebody out there stepping into somebody else's lifestyle. I'm talking about becoming your true, authentic self. This masterclass is for the outgoing girly, the girl with big dreams who is bold and is ready to make shit happen. She keeps trying over and over. She's starting, she's stopping, she's starting, she's stopping. And she knows she's meant for more. And she knows her current processes aren't working for her anymore. And she's ready to step into the real and raw version of herself that she knows is going to get her to her goals quicker. So this is what you're going to learn in the masterclass. You're going to learn about how to get really crystal clear on your goals and align with your true desires. You're going to build unshakable confidence using your rebel mindset, because if you're anything like me, you want to be different. Being different is what makes you who you are. And you're just learning through your journey that being more you and really stepping into that has helped you get your goals quicker. And so really stepping into a mindset of authenticity and truly becoming yourself and building confidence in that and being proud of that. And then really the next thing is learning how to calm your nervous system so that you can finally take bold action. And then the next step is really like getting consistent as fuck, even when life gets chaotic. I believe that so often we use our busy lives as an excuse for not moving forward. Let's stop using it as an excuse. I've been able to run a business, work full time, be a mom, be a wife, do all the things, and still make it happen. And I am so grateful that I've learned how to get consistent and really build my productivity, even with ADHD. Even with ADHD, I've been able to get things done, and I want to teach you that process. And then I'm going to help you tap into my unhinged manifesting techniques so that you can reach your goals quicker with less of the hustle and truly just do it by being your true self. So why is this masterclass going to be different? Well, most manifesting gurus are going to tell you, you have You have to tune into all of the things around you that are good. But I'm going to be here in this masterclass showing you how to be real as fuck, to honor your whole self and still manifest even when life can be crazy. Even when you feel like there's so many things going on around you and you can't just catch a break. I'm going to show you how to manifest even in those times. So you don't have to fake it to make it here. You just get to stop pretending to be everything to everyone else and start showing up for you. Stop ghosting yourself and truly stepping into your full power, the version of you who can be an amazing mom, be an amazing wife, whatever that may look like in your family life. Do all of the things and show up for all of the people. And realize you can do that by putting yourself first. The vibe of this masterclass is going to be rebellious, soulful, and extremely unhinged. Okay, maybe not extremely, but a little. Okay, yeah, maybe it's going to be super unhinged. I mean, it is called the 5 steps to manifesting a badass life. So plan on a little bit of unhinged energy. This is for the rebel, the girl who's ready to break free from the merry-go-round, because it just feels like you keep coming into life day after day after day, and you're ready to break the cycle. You're ready for something new, exciting, and creative. And you're ready to stop ignoring that and start tuning in and creating that. So if you are like, hell yes, if this feels like something you're being called to, make sure you get signed up, save your seat, and this is going to be super fun so that you can truly start showing up like the badass that you already are. Okay, that is my notification for you today. Make sure you get that on your calendar. August 8th, back up, August 10th. Make sure you put it on your calendar, and then at the end, go to the show notes and sign up. Sign up because it's going to be amazing. Okay, let's talk about self-care. Why your self-care routine maybe isn't working out for you. So the first thing is truly just understanding that we exist in 4 different realms, 4 different ways. The first one is mental, then there's emotional, then there's spiritual, and then physical. Where most people go wrong with self-care is they're only addressing the physical things. The hair, the nails, the skin, the physical appearance. And if you're here, you're probably already doing some self-care in some other ways, right? Maybe mental, maybe you're meditating, maybe emotional, maybe you've been doing some breath work or whatever it may look like for you. My guess is that you're already doing some of those things, but I want to help remind you to tune into all 4 ways that you exist and showing yourself care in all 4 different ways. Versus, just going and getting your nails done. Or even if you are doing the yoga and the meditation and all of the things, but still feeling empty in other areas, right? Maybe you're doing yoga, but you feel like your brain is going 100 miles an hour, right? So there are other ways to make sure you're caring for your body. And I want to give you a couple examples. If you have a chance right now, pause this and write down ways that you can show yourself self-care mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. If you don't, no worries. Just a quick practice that could help you see why your self-care routine really isn't working out for you or not creating that inspiration that you're wanting it to. So, examples. Physical. Outside of just like the typical going to get hair done, nails, skin routine, reminding you that stretching is such a critical thing for us to do when it comes to our physical body. Because we're often like, right, we're picking weeds, we're hunched over at a desk, we're sitting in the car, and we really just kind of curl up throughout life. And so it's important to stretch our bodies out, make sure that we're moving our bodies in a way that helps us stretch that out. And the next thing is lifting, and maybe not like lifting heavy weights, but even just that strength training. Because for us to really be able to live long, happy lives, maintaining that muscle mass so that our bones can stay healthy, so that we are supporting our body in the way we need to, is extremely important. Okay, the next one, emotional. Some of the ways that I support myself and take care of myself emotionally is singing as loud as I can in my car. Dancing. I love to dance and just turn on a couple songs and just do whatever. Expressing my emotions by tuning into them. Or even just drawing or painting or whatever comes up for me. And the next one is tuning into my emotions and really processing them. This is something that I teach my clients to do. I teach them my process of emotional regulation. And when I say emotional regulation, I don't mean like regulating your emotions because the bad ones are bad, but really learning how to tune in to your emotions to see that sometimes the anger is hiding the sadness. And the real thing that we want to work on is the sadness that's underneath the anger. And so really giving yourself care by tuning into your emotions and what they're trying to protect you from. Anger is typically going to be trying to protect you from sadness because sadness feels heavier than anger does. It's easier to be angry than sad. So just really tuning in because there's probably something there that you need to work on. So, and if you're curious what that looks like in my coaching program, I offer a free consultation call. Make sure you book that. I'll leave the link in the show notes. You're going to want to book that before the masterclass because after we launch the masterclass, I'm going to be going into launching my new program. And after that, I'm going to close off the free calls for a minute. So make sure you book that if you're curious what that looks like. Okay, then mental. So mentally, I love to take care of myself by meditating, doing my own coaching. I've done some mindset coaching. I've also worked with a therapist before, and I do my own mindset work on a daily basis. This is just something that has truly helped me show up in my life differently by putting my mind in the right space before I head off to work, before I get into my day. I start off with empowerment and really showing myself that I'm capable of figuring anything out, reminding myself that I'm worthy just as I am. So that is really, really important work, especially because our brains, if you're anything like me, our brains go 100 miles an hour, and sometimes it's hard to stop them from going crazy, right? So being able to use the mindset tools. And if you're curious about the tools that I use in my coaching program, I would love to talk about that with you. Go ahead and book that consult call and we can definitely go over that, and I can show you how that helps support your journey and reaching your goals so much quicker. Okay, and then the last one is that spiritual self-care. This could look like praying, maybe even tuning in to listen to just what your intuition needs to tell you, tuning into higher self, tuning into what God wants you to do. I often will just tune in and be like, what do I need to know today? And let whatever comes up. And it's always there to guide and support me and be the care that I need in that moment. Some other ways that you can support yourself spiritually are just different rituals and maybe even inner child work. Inner child work could definitely be the emotional work too, because a lot of times our inner child is there with emotions that were not validated that we really want to work on to help provide them the validation that they need so that you're no longer looking for validation outside of you. Okay, so that's the first thing, is really just understanding that self-care happens in more than one way, and really just tuning in and asking yourself what that looks like for you. So the 4 are mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical. Okay. All right. And then the next big thing, or reason why your routine may not be supporting you the way you want it to do, is just understanding that self-care is not self-love. And as much as I want to say, yes, it is, and it's there to support you, but it's really just the foundation of self-love. It's there, and kind of like, I think it's called Maslow's hierarchy of needs, or whatever it is. It's the foundational support that you need so that you can continue to grow on a deeper level. It's like your basic needs. So taking care of yourself, your self-care in those 4 different ways are the foundation that help you reach self-love on a deeper level. Self-love is not self-care. Why? Because your parents can take care of you. They can make sure you're fed, clothed. They could remind you to work out, do all the things, but still not love you unconditionally. And I know that's a hard one to swallow. Maybe you have experienced that in your own life, where maybe your parents just didn't show up for you in the way that you wanted them to. Maybe they didn't validate your emotions. Maybe they told you that you were too much. Maybe you are not allowed to talk about certain things when you're around them. Just basically not show up as yourself. And truly, that is where the self-love shows up, right? Like being able to look down at your legs and see the cellulite and be like, damn, I am so grateful for these legs. It doesn't mean that there's not room for improvement. Hell yeah. Oh, cellulite is just a good reminder that maybe I need to drink some more water. Maybe I need to be working out more. But looking at it from that approach is so much more self-love based versus I need to get rid of the cellulite so that I can look good in my swimsuit for everyone else. So really just being able to see yourself as you are and accept and love and validate. You cannot move forward and grow. I'm not sure if you can hear that, but up above me, my son is bouncing and kicking in the upstairs room. And I don't know if he's doing it on purpose, but I could kick his little butt. Yeah, he wants my attention, but I'll give it to him in a minute. He will get it. Gotta love kids. They are so amazing. And, you gotta teach them those boundaries. And that's also like, let's talk about boundaries. Boundaries are a bridge to self-love. They're a bridge to deeper, healthier relationships. And when you set boundaries, you are no longer abandoning yourself. You're no longer putting yourself on the back burner and ignoring the things that you need. It's really about, no matter how hard it feels to set a boundary, even if it makes me feel alone sometimes, I'm still going to do it because that's only going to help me grow and attract the right kind of people. But also, instead of just disempowering everyone around me, I start empowering them. And that's a really good mindset shift to take with you when it comes to boundaries, is just understanding that when you set a boundary, you're empowering the other person instead of disempowering them, right? Like every time I pick up my husband's socks on the floor, I'm disempowering him to ever be able to do that, but also holding resentment for him every time I pick them up, which is not a healthy relationship. A healthy relationship is one where I say, hey, babe, I noticed that you left your socks like a couple times in a row on the side of the bed, and I'd really appreciate it if you would pick them up. And it's just because, I would appreciate it if all the dirty clothes landed in the dirty clothes pile, because when I go to do laundry, it just makes it easier. Also makes me just feel more appreciated. So if you would, please do that. Just really being able to stand up for yourself, even though it feels uncomfortable. And that's the thing about self-love. It's not going to feel good at first. When you start stepping into self-love, it's going to feel weird. It's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to feel like, what the heck? I'm not supposed to love myself. I'm not supposed to celebrate who I am. I'm supposed to be humble and hide who I am and hold still and sit quietly and not be myself and talk about weird things at family dinners. I found myself talking the other day at a family dinner about things that I knew my cousin wasn't going to appreciate. And instead of like worrying about that, I just reminded him like, oh, hey, I'm sorry. I'm just not going to filter myself. This is how I feel. That doesn't change how I feel about you. And I hope the same goes for you. And of course he doesn't care. We have different political views. That's fine. That is what it is. But being able to show up as yourself is super important. And that's why I love my cousin. He's such a rebel because he shows up to family dinners and he is. No one else in the family, maybe like one or two, are, similar beliefs as what he has. And so I just, even though I don't have those beliefs as much as he does, I just am so proud of him for always showing up for who he is and being with us despite that. Like that just shows me true authenticity and true self-love. So anyways, I really wanted to highlight the importance that self-love is so much deeper than self-care. And if you are practicing the self-care routines and they feel bland, they feel boring, you still feel emptiness inside, that's a sign that maybe you need to work on the self-love. It needs to go a little bit deeper. And if you're wanting to get that support and help, I would love to help you do that. Again, you can book a free consult call and I can help show you how being yourself is actually the key to reaching your goals faster. Plus, holy Hannah, you deserve to show up as yourself. You deserve to love who you are. You'll reach your goals so much faster from that place. Okay, that is all I have for you today. Okay, the 2 things that you need to know when it comes to self-care routine to make it really bring so much energy into your life and to make it more meaningful and actually hit harder, bring more motivation into your day is to practice self-care on those 4 different ways, which are mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical. And then also if you're still feeling that emptiness or still feeling like it's not there, it's just a really good sign that self-love is your next step. Self-love is really being able to become a resilient person who shows up no matter what. Okay, that's what I have for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this helped in any way, shape, or form, please share it with a friend. You can always print screen it, post it on Instagram, and tag me. I will give you a shout out. And yeah, that's what I have for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're interested in the masterclass coming up on August 8th, which is going to be the 5 steps to manifesting a badass life, and literally it's going to blow your mind. Make sure you get signed up. All the links are going to be in the show notes. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day. Mwah.